wankers! You're a load of wankers! You're a load of wankers! You're a load of wankers!
Have an interest in this country not being attacked in any way, shape or form, well, believe it or not, I have that same interest. He has that same interest. Everyone that lives here really has the same interest. We don't want this country to be bombed. If you don't want this country to be bombed, then you have to deal with Britain's role in the world, not just today. Today is the most important factor, but you have to take the past into account.
Basically, they think that white people are supreme to all other people, and I don't agree with that. I think all people are equal.
For those who don't know, the English Defence League is a street movement aimed at targeting militant Islam and the Islamization of the UK. With over 85 divisions across the country, the EDL have demonstrated against anything from halal menus in public schools to mosque expansions. This video was shot on the 24th of October at the EDL Pro-Israeli Rally outside the Israeli embassy. Let's see what they're about. Jody Mcintyre is a young journalist who spent time in Palestine. He's an inspirational activist and regular speaker, and has spoken alongside Norman Finkelstein and Lowkey for the Palestinian cause. I asked him about his thoughts on the EDL.
They're all claiming that they're here because they're against radical Islam and not just Islam. Do you think that's true?
But what does that even mean? I don't even think they know what it means. And also, I think if you question the leaders or the spokesman for the EDL, they'll say they're against radical Islam. But if you speak to the young people that are involved in the demonstration and that make up most of the people, they say, get the patches out. So what are they really against? Are they against radical Islam? The speaker that's currently making the speech said that Arabs are dogs.
Yeah, I heard that.
So are they against radical Islam, or are they against all Arabs? And don't be fooled by their current rhetoric, because if it wasn't Islam, if it wasn't Muslims, if it wasn't Arabs, then next it would be Jews and Irish and every section of society that isn't white Anglo-Saxon.
Before we begin, I'd like to propose a 1 minute silence for both Andy and all of the troops who have given their lives for our country in conflicts past and present. Thank you.
Okay, seeing as these guys are claiming to be here in support of Israel, let me share a few numbers from Israel's latest massacre. Gaza siege 2008. At least 1,500 have been reportedly killed. This includes more than 500 children and 200 women. More than 5,500 have sustained heavy injuries, and at least 1/3 of the dead in Gaza are children, all in a period of 23 days. Every minute of silence is just another minute of ignorance.
Well, I think an organisation like the EDL they're not ultimately educated about the state of the world, and they don't realise Britain's role in the rest of the world.
So basically they're ignorant. Let's expand on that a bit more.
The radicalists and their supporters never cease to amaze me, you know. There was a man, his name escapes me for the moment, he's an extremist radical Muslim type person.
Excuse me? A what?
He's an extremist radical Muslim type person.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, just to keep it unbiased, I managed to get hold of one of their members. Listen to what he says.
Actually worse than Adolf
Killing the
Hitler.
Jews. When the Jew will hide
Well,
behind
you say
stones
someone that said
and
to you,
trees,
well,
and the
Israeli
stones
shouldn't be there in the
will
first
say,
place.
"Oh,
It's a
Muslims,
Palestinian
oh,
country
Abdullah,
that they came
there is a
into,
Jew behind me.
with the
Come
help
and
of
kill
the
him."
There was no Palestine before the Israelis came. There was no state called Palestine before the Israelis came. There were nomadic people who moved from various places in that vicinity. There was no actual state. And if there was a state, why didn't Jordan, Egypt, Syria and Iran make an effort to create a state in these areas? Because they wanted the conflict with Israel, they wanted the camps to rationalise what they wanted, which was the destruction of Israel.
But Israel wasn't there in the first place, so how can they destruct something that wasn't there?
Israelis, Jews. Why do people say Jews were there 2,000 years before there were any Muslims?
I'm talking about the European Jews that came from Germany, that's what I'm talking about.
Most people in Israel are from Russia. Not,
So they're Russian.
yeah.
But they came into Palestine. I don't understand why they are trying to take over a country that isn't theirs at the moment. That's what I'm talking about. Like Palestine, Palestinians were there way before the Jews.
There's no such thing as Palestine.
There is such thing as
It didn't exist as a state.
It was a state. It was
There are nomadic people who were some of the refugees from what you say Palestine, Nakba, whatever it's called, had only been there for 2 years.
No.
Some of them had only been there for 2 years.
Palestinians have been there for thousands of years. Thousands.
Not as a people.
No,
They were
as a
Jordanians, they were Syrians, and they were Lebanese. They weren't. There was no such thing.
There was such. How is there no such thing? Obviously, there were Palestinians there, and they were in the land of Palestine, making their country were Palestinians.
and bring them back safely.
Yes, there was the people, Muslim
Okay,
people.
enough of that. This next guy is an American rabbi and member of the Tea Party. He spoke quite a bit, but these are the most interesting points he makes.
For all my Jewish brothers out there that have called me a Nazi and a fascist, why am I sticking my nose in Hitler's business? I'll tell you why. Because you don't have the guts to stand up here and take care of business. Like the dogs that they are, they eat each other alive. I have one thing to say for those proponents of multiculturalism. Go to Saudi Arabia and start there. How ironic that we are the fascists, we are the Nazis. We want to be free.
From what? Let's go back to the EDL dude. During the interview, he made a very good point, which I can't ignore. Listen to this.
There are people there that what you call.
So who represents the Palestinians?
The Palestinians represent Palestinians.
No, that's the main statement.
No, listen. The sheer fact that the Palestinians still exist in their country now and that they are resisting the Israeli government, that's enough.
That's your question.
Yeah.
Why haven't their Muslim brothers in the camps in Egypt, in Jordan, why haven't they done anything about it?
I would love to know that. I would love to know the answer.
Have you thought about it
Of
before?
course, everyone's thought about it. Do you think they have a point to be here?
Well, it's strange that to see people making Nazi salutes outside the Israeli embassy.
As always, it's enlightening to speak to Lowkey on World Matters. I asked him about his views on the EDL, and this is what he told me.
These people are not really speaking from the perspectives of oppressed people. They're speaking from the perspective of pure ignorance. Because as I said in one of the songs, I said, which is a bigger threat to human society, BAE systems or homemade IEDs? Because the fact is the fact. These people that you spend so much time fearing, and that there's so much of a machine encouraging you to fear, do not have access to weapons which are even 5% as powerful as the weapons which you've been using on them for decades. You're talking about Britain. The British government are responsible for the use of depleted uranium in Iraq, which is causing babies today to be born with all manner of deformities. Now, what we have to understand is, would these people who are coming out to protest here and express their solidarity with Israel, would they accept that for their children? Would they accept that for British children, for English children? They wouldn't. Would they accept a foreign army, say from Iraq or Afghanistan, to come and occupy this country and set up 94 military bases in this country? They would probably fight. They would probably resist this occupation, and they would have every single right.
They're calling me a terrorist, like they don't know who the terror is. When they put it on me, I tell them this: I'm all about peace and love. They're calling me a terrorist, like they don't know who the terror is. Insulting my intelligence. Oh, how these people judge.
It seems like the ragheads and packies are worrying your dad, but your dad's favourite food is curry and kebab. It's funny but it's sad how they make your mummy hurry with her bags, rather read the Sun and study all the facts. Tell me, what's the bigger threat to human society? BAE systems or homemade IEDs, remote control drones killing off human lives, or man with homemade bomb committing suicide? I know you were terrified when you saw the towers fall. It's all terror, but some forms are more powerful. It seems nuts. How could there be such agony when more Israelis die from peanut allergies? It's like the definition didn't ever exist. I guess it's all just dependent who your nemesis is. Irrelevant how eloquent the rhetoric peddler is. They're telling fibs, now tell us who the terrorist is.
They're calling me a terrorist.